Welcome back to Ridezone Bikes, and today we're diving deep into one of the most iconic names ever to roll on two wheels of the 2025 Yamaha VMAX. This isn't just a motorcycle, it's a resurrection of a legend that has always stood at the crossroads of raw muscle and modern engineering. Yamaha has brought back the VMAX not to fill a gap in their lineup, but to remind the entire industry what it means to build a muscle cruiser with presence, with character, and with power that doesn't just move you, it shakes you to your core. The moment you see it, the silhouette makes you pause, and the second the engine comes to life, you know you're dealing with something very different. The VMAX has never been about blending in, and the 2025 version doubles down on that promise. At the heart of this machine is a massive 1679cc liquid-cooled V4 engine that is the very definition of brutal elegance. Yamaha's engineers didn't just stuff displacement into a frame, they refined how that power gets delivered. The bike comes alive with Yamaha's chip-controlled intake system, which automatically adjusts intake tract length to optimize torque and horsepower across the rev range. This is paired with Yamaha's chip-controlled throttle, making sure your wrist movements translate to power delivery that's smooth, predictable, and instantaneous. For a bike with such monumental performance potential, the throttle precision makes it far more controllable than you might expect, even at low speeds or while navigating city streets. Performance is where the VMAX has always carved its reputation, and the 2025 model makes no apologies for sticking to that tradition. Official numbers are tightly held, but everything about the bike screams monstrous horsepower, with acceleration that pins you back the way few cruisers can. This isn't just about riding fast in a straight line. The aluminum-stressed member frame keeps the bike planted under acceleration, giving it stability that matches the ferocity of the engine. The shaft drive means low maintenance and a smooth power transfer, while the suspension setup with telescopic forks in the front and preload adjustable twin shocks at the rear balances comfort with control, keeping the bike manageable on long rides but still aggressive when you lean into curves or hit the throttle hard. Braking performance has been given equal importance. Dual hydraulic discs up front and a single disc at the rear work with Bridgestone tires specifically developed for the VMAX. That combination ensures stopping power that matches the go power, which is critical when you're harnessing this much performance. The grip inspires confidence, letting riders explore what the VMAX can do without second-guessing whether the bike can keep up with its own aggression. Every detail feels purpose-built for performance, not just slapped on for looks. And yet, when you talk about the VMAX, you can't ignore the styling, because that's part of its soul. The 2025 edition has evolved into something sharper, sleeker, and more modern, but it never forgets the heritage that made this nameplate legendary. The aggressive air scoops remain, almost like the bike is flexing its muscles even when it's standing still. The low, forward-biased stance signals intent, while the muscular bodywork makes it clear that this bike is built to dominate the boulevard just as much as the highway. It's raw and rugged, yet the lines are refined in a way that makes it feel modern rather than retro. When you park it, it draws eyes not because it tries to be flashy, but because it exudes power and authority. Climb aboard and the ergonomics strike a clever balance. You're not folded up in a sport bike crouch, but you're not slouched in cruiser sprawl either. It's a commanding rider triangle that gives you control of the machine without sacrificing comfort. Yamaha has clearly engineered the VMAX for riders who want to go the distance but also crave those explosive bursts of speed and torque that only a muscle cruiser can deliver. The seat is sculpted for long rides, the pegs are positioned for balance, and the controls fall neatly into place, making the experience immersive rather than intimidating. Of course, all of this has to be balanced against the price, and the 2025 Yamaha VMAX lands with an MSRP of about $17,999. In the world of high-end performance cruisers, that number is more competitive than it first appears. You're not paying for a simple commuter bike, you're investing in a legend reborn, a motorcycle that gives you heritage, technology, performance, and uniqueness in a package few others can rival. It's not cheap, but when you consider what you're getting, a nearly unrivaled engine performance, bespoke tires, advanced intake and throttle systems, and an aluminum chassis that ties it all together, the value becomes crystal clear. What makes the 2025 VMAX stand out isn't just the engine, or the frame, or even the styling. It's the way those elements come together into a seamless package that refuses to compromise. It's raw power, but controlled through intelligent electronics. It's a hulking frame, but one engineered for precision and balance. It's a muscle cruiser that doesn't just flex but actually delivers on the promise of dominance, while still giving the rider the tools to manage it with confidence. The unique selling point of this bike is that it lets you live in both worlds, the primal thrill of overwhelming torque and the modern assurance of technology and refinement. Few bikes achieve this balance, and fewer still do it with such presence. The Yamaha VMAX has always been larger than life, a motorcycle with a reputation that preceded it, and the 2025 version is no exception. From the moment you hear the V4 come alive to the instant you feel the torque surge through the shaft drive, it's an experience that sticks with you. At around $18,000, it's not an impulse purchase, but for riders who want a bike that's more than transportation, for those who want a machine that makes a statement every time it's seen or heard, it's worth every penny. So as we close this review, the 2025 Yamaha VMAX leaves us with one undeniable truth: it's not just a motorcycle, it's an event. Whether you're carving through city streets, blasting down highways, or simply rolling into a parking lot, it carries with it a gravity few bikes can match. Yamaha has managed to blend heritage with innovation, muscle with refinement, and raw power with control, making this one of the most exciting bikes of the year. That's the VMAX legacy, reborn for 2025, and it's ready to take its place once again at the top of the muscle bike throne. Thanks for watching Ridezone by Kessa. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and tell us in the comments if you think you're ready to take on this legend yourself.